simply cannot change this situation. President Pavel does not have a good standing or a good reputation in our country. I really shouldn't repeat the words people use to describe him in the Czech Republic. So I believe that this is part of the political dictate of the United States, and that the United States is already trying to disentangle itself from Ukraine. They are giving up their positions and distancing themselves further. They're using him as a mouthpiece to say no, essentially using the Czech president as a tool. Unfortunately, the Czech Republic is playing a terribly negative role in this. I'll tell you, this worries me greatly. It is painful, not just for me, but for many people who are even more dissatisfied with what's happening in our country and how our government and president are acting. There are many dissatisfied people. I hope that on election day, everything will be accounted for. I believe this will happen next year.
Yaroslav, you have been an active figure in Czech politics for decades, and you served as a senator until 2022. There's probably no one better to ask this question. How would you describe the direction of the Czech Republic's foreign policy and how it has evolved in recent years? You know, when I was young, back when the Soviet Union still existed, I remember Czech friends, and I remember that we all saw ourselves as almost Slavic brothers. But now Prague is taking a hard anti-Russian stance. Why is that?
You know, this reflects the unfortunate experience of 1968. On the other hand, I'm convinced that if the Warsaw Pact troops hadn't come to Czechoslovakia in '68, our republic would have been plundered 20 years earlier. But that's a different matter. Unfortunately, I must say that Soros and others like him did an excellent job. It is true that if you want to change something, you need to start with the children, and Soros spared no effort in this regard. I'd like the leadership of the Russian Federation to quickly realize, though I think they already have, that it had been working against its own objectives. Soros, I believe, presented everything differently than it actually was. And when we talk about the negative experience of '68, it's also presented differently than it was in reality.